Hello, this is Marina. Today I want to look at narcissists and jealousy. So there has been a lot of talk about why narcissists are jealous of people, but I wanted to today look at the difference between jealousy and envy. Sometimes we use these words interchangeably. Sometimes we may actually feel that there's something very different about envy and jealous. I have done some videos about how the narcissist uses jealousy to control you, to make you scared, and this is done through emotional manipulation. And usually we can see this happening with triangulation. So triangulation is when they will bring in third party, sometimes more than one third party. They may even bring in adult children. They will play them against you. They'll make them seem more important than you are. They can bring in new love interests. They can use friends of the opposite sex in a way that's not really clear. Are they flirting? Is there more going on here than meets the eye? So this is when emotional jealousy, it's like a trigger. So emotionally, you're not satisfied, they're not satisfied, they're wanting something that someone else has. So it's more of a possession. And narcissists are very good at creating this in their love interest, but not only their love interest. You can see this happening in the workplace, friendships as well. So when we think of envy though, envy is when there tends to be more of a resentment. Resentment in particular if it is ongoing. Of course, we may all be a bit envious at times. We may say, oh gee, what a lucky person. I wish that was happening to me. But we may use that then in a different way. You may then turn that back to yourself and say, right, what are my goals? You know, what am I going to focus on now so that I can also achieve what's important to me? So you may use that envy as a way of saying, well, you know what, that's something I really also want to achieve. And I know that if I focused on the right things and if I set the right goals, I can also do it. But when envy is ongoing, and when the narcissist, the toxic person, now starts to become resentful, they may even start to become very, very obsessed over a particular person with what they are achieving, then this starts to not feel very good at all. So we see that this jealousy is something that can cause a lot of damage to people. In relationships, it creates fights. In relationships, it can there's a lot of divide. Domestic violence is often filled with a lot of jealousy, so to speak. We can see how jealousy can also lead to bullying. We can see how jealousy can lead to the victim or target staying squashed down all the way down that rabbit hole. With narcissists, they will use jealousy, envy, whichever one, with their partners to keep them down. Before you know it, you are in competition with them. This is why it's important you really start to look at how your relationships with people is making you feel. Because if you're with the right relationships with someone, you are going to feel more at ease and you will explore things and you will just naturally use your abilities, your skills to shine. So with jealousy and narcissists or in toxic relationships, some of the signs are you will find that they are in competition with you. If you say to them, I want to go on a trip to, just say Thailand, then before you know it, they're talking about their trip to Paris. And your trip all of a sudden doesn't mean anything because it's their trip now. That's the most important thing. You may start to share with the narcissist, just say if this is a love interest and you are with a person, you may start to share your concerns with them. You may start to possibly say, look, you know, I haven't had really a great day today, or, you know, this has happened to me. And then before you know it, they're not listening to you, so you now shut up. And now they start talking all about their day. Another sign that a narcissist is jealous with you And sadly, this occurs years even after you've broken up with a narcissist, even if they have gone on to secure new supply. Just say possibly that you told them that you really wanted long-term commitment. You may have wanted to be engaged or married or to move in together. What the narcissist will do in this situation, in particular if you have rejected them, they will go on to secure this with someone else. Now, once they see that this has had no impact on you, and possibly you've even had a glow up and you're very happy with your life and you've moved on, then what they will do, they will not leave you alone. They will do lots of things. They will stalk you, they will hoover you, they will harass you, they will bully you, they will smear you. This is jealousy. So this is definitely that possessiveness, that emotional control, that emotional manipulation, trying to get a reaction out of you. How dare you? How dare you move on? Now, if the person, even years later, goes on to secure new love, it's very sad, but they can actually start to rear their head again. And it can be very, very dangerous. So we need to understand that when it comes to narcissists, this jealousy, envy, jealousy, whatever it is an obsession about what someone else has. It's about the control. And you know what? You are not going to have the attention that I deserve. At their core, they don't understand how some people can just be in their light and how they can just maneuver and get things done and do things. They don't understand it. And usually it's when someone's light is shining the brightest, and when that person does have their own capabilities, internal gifts, and when that person is not even looking for validation on the outside, this can actually send a narcissist crazy. It can be very dangerous. So don't just treat jealousy lightly. Don't treat this lightly. Don't treat you having to dim your light because you're with a person and you can't shine. Don't let this competition that you end up experiencing with narcissists, and I'm talking about in love as well, because love should never be about competition. Don't let this become so normal for you that you start manipulating your own behavior so that you can be less than. Jealousy can also lead narcissists into rage. It can be very, very scary. And sadly, if you're an empath and when you're with a narcissist, you may believe that speaking your truth and trying to help them, or actually trying to have them understand things in a certain way, is going to be helpful for you. And this is not. You're wasting not only your time, you're wasting your very, very precious energy, and you're staying stuck. And we know about that rabbit hole. I've talked a lot about the rabbit hole when we go all the way down into a rabbit hole. So Alice in Wonderland, she fell down a rabbit hole, and there was all crazy stuff going on down there in that rabbit hole. Mad Hatters, tea parties, seeing giants, doing this. But it was just crazy. That's what happens. When we stay in this rabbit hole, we experience something that really we should not be experiencing, because we don't belong there. So the jealousy and the envy, from my perspective, should be taken very, very seriously. And if you are, because we feel it in our body, we know, but although we may squash it down, if you don't want to live like that anymore, then you can start to take different actions towards you making healthier choices, you establishing boundaries, and you definitely not saying it's okay. It's okay for people to keep sending me these signals. It's okay for me to keep having to have this emotional interference, spiritual interference, meaning it's invisible, but we feel energy. And I have talked about energy transference, so that is real. Other people impact on our nervous system, so our job is to be around people who we can co-regulate with, people who are going to help us regulate our nervous system and not escalate it. That's all for now, and if I can help you in any way, please reach out. Bye.